So far, the demons had been very loyal to their homeworld.
"Are you kidding me?"
he asked with a loud laugh.
"That place is war, kill, murder, murder. Having lived through 2 transitions, I'm sick of it. Why do you think my precious little sister hasn't done more to reach home?"
I had wondered, I replied with a nod. Even if she was weaker, Quinn was basically unkillable for the locals. She could have sought out all the sealed generals tucked away around Mergen, and they might have been able to reach back through the void to their home planet. "Is that the case?" I asked.
"I lived like a queen, with everyone afraid of me. Back on Deoris, I was little more than a foot soldier. My moronic brother is right. Why go back if I am nearly immortal here without competition?"
"All right, I understand why you two don't really care to go back," I said, rubbing my temple. "If that's the case, why didn't you give me more information?" I asked, looking to Quinn.
"Does it matter?"
She gave me a humorous look.
"Deoris lost its connection to Mergen over 5,000 years ago."
"Ah, sister, you are quite slow,"
Thogran said, shaking his head at her. She responded by hissing at him and glaring.
"You think that is the only way to reach another world. Our race has been conquering other planets since we first touched the stars."
"So they do have another method to reach us," I said, narrowing my eyes at Thogran before getting a nod.
"An inefficient method, but one that suits a race that does not age and can go for long periods without nutrients."
"Interstellar travel?" I asked, thinking of the only other option.
"At the heart of it, yes. If 5,000 years have truly passed, then they should be arriving soon. Don't bother asking for an accurate date. That would be impossible to give you."
"I was right! I knew it!" Slamming my fist into my open palm, I got a bit excited. Not because there was a force of hard-to-kill demons coming, but because I wasn't crazy and that I hadn't misread the signs. I was glad that my preparations weren't the doings of a madman. I ground my teeth as my mind started moving quickly. I had a lot of work to do before the enemy arrived. I may have captured all the wild dungeons on the Urio continent. Still, I needed to work to get the Fuizal continent dungeons ready and working together. While they would be more developed than the wilds, I had to make sure I didn't push them too far. The last thing I wanted was a dungeon to go crazy from my doings.
"Is he all right?"
Thogran asked Quinn behind me.
"Probably not, but I'd rather not piss him off."
I turned around and opened the cell next to Quinn's. I was sure they had things to talk about, and everything down here was monitored more heavily than Fort Knox was back on Earth. "I'm fine. I have more questions for you, so come into my office." The day had worn on by the time I had everything I thought I would need for the time from Thogran. As I expected, as a general, he possessed a far more comprehensive range of knowledge than Quinn. Even she would ask a question here and there. The demons, or rather the Telerian, as they called themselves in their mother language, were much more war-driven than Quinn let on. Every aspect of their lives was decided through the strength of arms. This path of life worked for them, and as both Quinn and Thogran had demonstrated, the demons were hard to kill even to their own people. Only a few original bloodlines suffered, as they called it, from aging. To prevent the gene pool from being tainted, members of these were killed off if one was found. "Surely after this long they've been wiped out?" I couldn't help but ask, as the thought of something managing to hide away on a planet of ruthless killers was hard to believe.
"You'd think that was the case, but every couple thousand years they try to overthrow the way of life. They are defeated horribly and driven back every time. But we do lose a fair amount of our weaker members. They have access to the same technology after all."
"I'm starting to get the picture. Do you think this element will be present when the demons arrive here?"
"I have no doubt. 5,000